For this tutorial, you'll just need your yoga mat, a chair, and a block. And before we get into any positions, let's go over the ab engagement. So take a breath in through your nose. Place your hands on the sides of your ribs, and as you exhale, either through your nose or your mouth, I want you to feel the abs are coming together toward the center as you breathe all the air out. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze. Feel the abs knitting together toward the center. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. It's almost like a corset. If you were to pull the corset strings tight, that's what's happening here. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. So this is the feeling you want to have when I say ab engagement, as opposed to doing a literal standing crunch and shortening the lower ribs down. We don't want that. So keep the length in your front line, and you're going to knit together this way. All right, so that's your ab engagement. Now let's just do some inventory for the body points before we get onto the mat. We're going to come into a plank with your hands on the chair. So let's bring your hands right under your shoulders and your legs straight back. You'll be on the base of your toes. Now the inventory, let's start with the head. So the back of your head is reaching up toward the corner of the ceiling. So you're not just hanging your head down. Keep it active, lift it up. The back of the neck is long. Your shoulders are down away from your earlobes, engaging your lats. And you're also pushing the chair away from you, so you're not sinking into your chest or squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep the shoulder blades away from your spine as you have your arms stacked on the chair, shoulders over your wrists. Now, ab engagement, don't crunch down and shorten the front line, but keep the abs engaged like a corset. And then finally, the lower part of your glutes, your sits bones, just tuck under slightly. There you go, and you might feel your abs even more now, and then your legs are straight. 1 more time. The back of the head is reaching for the upper ceiling corner. Shoulders are down, abs are engaged, your butt's tucked under slightly, and then the legs are straight. All right, good. Come on up. So we want to have quality over quantity with everything that we do. The muscles that are working with the push-ups are the triceps and the chest primarily, but we also have the deltoids of the shoulders, the abs, the hips, and the legs. There's a lot going on. Everything in the core. Core is hips to shoulders, so primarily everything is happening here in our trunk. So let's go over where the hand position is. This is really important. So in a kneeling position, just let your arms be straight, palms facing your legs. Let's lift your arms up to a T, bring your arms forward, and then pull the elbows back so your elbows are at right angles. And then extend your wrists. So this is where you'll be for most of the push-ups in our programs. If the hands start out closer together, then the arms will be closer to the body, and these push-ups will be more tricep centric and less chest. So these will be much more challenging. So for our purposes, we'll be a little bit wider than our shoulders. So again, hands down, arms down, lift up, reach forward, pull back, and extend the palms. This is going to be your push-up position. Now notice that my elbows and your elbows are lower than your wrists. So your elbows will be at about 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. They're not up here. If you lift them up here to 3 and 9 o'clock, just notice how that cranks your arm and your shoulder. It's not very comfortable. We're not going to do that in the push-up. So when we begin our push-up and we bend the elbows, they're going to go like this. They're going to be lower than our wrists. Think about pointing them to about 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock as you lower to the block or to the floor. So do this with me a few times, straightening away, bending, straightening, bending, straightening, bending. One more time, straightening and bending. That's your hand position. So let's go into a half push-up with your knees bent. Now, you know I don't like to teach you push-ups with bent knees. I want you to be able to do a full-legged push-up, straight leg, but just for the purposes of the tutorial, let's start with knees bent. So you'll be on the tops of the knees, bottoms of the thighs, and you cross your feet. Now your hands are just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Your fingers are facing forward, not out here. They're facing forward. Now let's go through that inventory. So the back of your head is reaching up to the back corner of the room. It's not reaching forward. Same with your chest. You're pushing the ground away. You're not dropping your chest toward the floor or squeezing your shoulder blades together. Actively push the ground away. Abs are engaged as if the pulling of a corset to tighten the abs. And then you have a little pelvic tuck, not flexed at the hips, right here. All right? Once you have that inventory, let's bend the elbows. Don't lead with your chest, don't lead with your head. Touch the block and push away. Let's do that a couple more times. No leading with your head, no leading with your chest. Keep the trunk where it is, the head where it is, just bend the elbows. 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, push away. One more time. Bend the elbows, push away. That's all it is. Okay, so let's go into a middle position block. The breathing can be inhale as you lower, exhale as you come up. Give that a try. So let's go again with our knees bent, a little bit lower, a little bit deeper this time. Hands just slightly wider than your shoulders, fingers face forward. Come to the top of your knee, above your knees, the lower part of the thighs. Inventory, the back of the head is reaching up, neck is long, shoulders are down, abs are engaged, pelvis is slightly tucked under. Don't move anything from the inventory. Just bend your elbows till you touch, push away. Yes. Inhale, exhale as you push. One more time. Inhale, exhale as you push. Wow, you know, when you do it like this, really methodically, it's so much more challenging and effective. So this is the proper way to do it. All right, let's go with a couple of straight-legged push-ups. You can lift the block or keep it where it is. So let's take a plank position just like we did on the chair and go through that inventory again. Fingers face forward, a little bit wider than your shoulders. Come into your full plank. Head is lifting to the ceiling, shoulders are down away from your ears, abs are engaged, pelvis is tucked. Keep that. Bend your elbows. Ready? Bend your elbows, inhale. If you can, give me one more. Inhale. Good. All right. That's the push-up. So the main things to be aware of when you start moving is not to do what you're going to see a lot of other people or people in the gym doing, or people who don't really pay attention to the proper positions. They're going to start to reach with their head and let their upper traps go, or they're going to start to reach with their chest, or they're going to do some kind of, you know, like this kind of movement. So we really want to keep the entire trunk stable and rigid, and then just bend those elbows and push away. That's why it's so great for the abs, because this has to stay stable and rigid through the whole series of movements. Okay, that's your push-up tutorial. If you have any questions, just reach out. I'd love to hear from you.